I think John Kerry's phone call to our national security advisor has certainly changed the tonality of the debate here in the United States. The fact that he mentioned that she resonates as a daughter, it was very personal and ended on a positive note, is a big takeaway for India. Here in the United States, the biggest shock has been India's what the United States call retaliation and India calls reciprocity, but specifically in terms of the security barricades being lifted outside the US Embassy in Delhi has shaken things up here in the United States establishment, and they feel that they need to respond in the quickest and fastest manner possible. So this was important. It's also interesting that mainstream US media once again headlined the story today in a completely different context, because for the last several days, they've been talking about how India has had an outsized reaction to this case, how India is obsessed with security screenings. Even at airports, Indian officials usually create a scene, according to them. And they've talked about how domestic labor typically is mistreated in India. So there's a completely different perception of human labor and human respect in India. So those have been the allegations from the US mainstream media. I've also heard that Indian elections are a factor in the patriotism which has come into display in Devyani Khobragade's case, but that tonality has shifted to one which clearly states that John Kerry apologized to India today. This is the closest that we get in terms of an apology. But what is surprising, it has been also the fact that the US Manhattan Attorney's Office, Preet Bharara's office, came up with a radically different response, and his statement is in complete contrast with John Kerry's one.
All right, Namita, they're talking about Preet Bharara's statement. The Manhattan District Attorney, Preet Bharara, who brought the case against Khobragade, issued a statement in which he denies that Khobragade was placed in handcuffs in public, though he admits that she was strip searched by US Marshals, and also admits the family of the maid, Sangeeta Richards, was brought to the US from India. Bharara says not only did she try to evade the law, she made a victim attest to false documents. Khobragade created second contract that was not to be revealed to the US government. The second contract was deleted, required language protecting the victim from abuse. Khobragade accorded courtesies well beyond what other defendants are shown. Victim's family was evacuated to the US as legal process was started in India against her in an attempt to silence her.
I think somewhere the diplomatic standoff is being seen as a US versus India battle, but within the United States itself, there are many departments who seem to be blaming each other or holding very different versions of what happened. Because on one side, you have John Kerry pretty much saying, I'm sorry for what happened. But on the other hand, you have Preet Bharara, the prosecutor in this case, saying, I strongly stand by what happened. Now, this is interesting. Sources tell me that Devyani Khobragade was not publicly handcuffed. That is, she had dropped her daughter to school. The daughter was inside the school, and presumably Devyani was on her way to the subway when plainclothes agents from the State Department approached her and then asked her to get into a car, where they provided her coffee, allowed her to use the phone call for 2 hours, and then she was only arrested when she reached the federal courthouse. So the United States authorities seem to suggest that all due courtesies were provided to her. This obviously doesn't extend to the US Marshal's office when she was strip searched, which is a completely different procedure, they say, and that is another department. But these are important statements coming in. The second is the fact that the Indian authorities knew about the potential consequences of this case. Now, they weren't specifically told about a potential arrest. That was not informed. They weren't told that she's going to be arrested on this date or in the next week or so forth. That wasn't told, but they said that all the allegations were made known to Indian authorities, and those allegations carried consequences of a potential arrest. So the Indian authorities should have known that this could have happened. And the third important point is Sangeeta Richards' family. The US Manhattan Attorney's Office seemed to suggest that Sangeeta Richard had left the employment of Devyani Khobragade in July, and therefore technically could not use her work visa to stay on in the United States, and therefore the United States had to provide her with a US passport because they believe that her claims are true and she has sufficient evidence to suggest that she was mistreated and there was this alleged visa fraud which took place.